This year's MOS is our 30th anniversary, and I invite all of you to participate in celebrating all the artistry of Marin that's going to be happening in April and May, and to join in the festivities. So before you get to celebrate, however, is making sure that we have all the information to get people to you. Connecting artists to the public is what Marin Open Studios is all about. And in order for that to happen, your job is to get us exactly good information on your site, with making sure that your address is there correctly, your image that you want in the tour guide is there first up, your that you add some wonderful artwork, and you might even talk about it, whether it's a great piece to show in the dining room, or whether you think it's a better piece to show in someone's office, because you can fill in all kinds of stuff. And our fearless leader tonight, Caron, is going to help you to navigate the website and to make sure that we have everybody's information. In fact, I just went through a spreadsheet and I found 6 people whose information on their address was messed up. So we'd like to correct that before we send it back to you for corrections. That's a lot easier. So, okay, Caron, take it away.
Thank you, Kay. So I think there's no one in the waiting room at this point, so I feel like everybody who's coming is here, but if some more people trickle in, we'll bring them in as they come. For people who just came in, thank you for your patience with the incorrect link, and please do, if you come tonight with any specific questions about the Marin Open Studios website, please open up the chat at the bottom of your Zoom screen and type your question there, and we'll make sure that we get to that before the end of tonight's call. I am Caron Shahrestani of Caron Modern Media. I've been the social media manager, kind of video girl, and email marketing assistant for Marin Open Studios since pre-pandemic, since like 2018, right, Kay? And so as many of you know, because a lot of you guys have been with us through that time, we did a series of workshops between 2020 and 2021, and it's been a minute. So again, human error with that link earlier, but we're happy to have you here and to cover what you need to know to optimize and update your profile on the marinopenstudios.org website, so that we can make Kay's job easier, we can make Dawn's job easier with the tour guide, and we can make sure that art lovers who want to start planning their art adventures for the 2 weekends in May can use the website as an accurate resource of your contact information, your location, recent artwork, and all the other details that you'd like to provide. The more art and the more information on your profile, the better. So if there's anybody on this call that's like, I've got one piece of art on there, we'd really prefer if you had more than one. We will be looking at my Marin Open Studios page from the back end today. And I'm just going to do a quick review of the basics of what you need to know to update it. And then once we do that review, I'll go through the questions that you've put in the chat, and then we'll do like a general live Q&A. So when we are on the Marin Open Studios website, here, the main front page, and if there's anybody who can't see the screen share, let me know in the chat. I want to make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing, which is a live view of the website. So the best place to start, of course, for just our basic overview is to cover logging in. So we hit up here in the upper right corner, you'll see a gray button with a white circle in it and a little line. And when you take your mouse over it, you'll see the option to log in or register. When you click that button, you should have a pop-up window. If you've logged into the website from your computer before, It should auto-populate your username. It might also have remembered your password. And there is a Remember Me button here that you can click to make sure that at least the name is typed in there for you every time you come to the website. And then I'm on Google Chrome, so Google Chrome is automatically filling in that password for me. Depending on your browser, you might have to set that to enter it in for you, but you make sure you've got your name and your password in there. Of course, if you forget your password, there is a forgot password button here. If I were to just click that real quick, then you would enter in your email, hit reset password, and lickety split, that should show up in your inbox. So to go in a circle again, we click up here, login register. I know that's my password. Again, you can do Remember Me so that it has the username, and hit the red login button. Once we are in the website, you'll notice now in the upper right corner that gray button is gone, and it should be your profile photo, as in your picture, and then your name. And once you hover your mouse over that section, you'll have a drop-down menu. And I know it might be a small text for some of you to read, especially if you're on a phone, so I'll just read it to you. The drop-down menu says Edit Artist Profile, Update Profile Image, which is that little circle we see at the top. Update banner image, which is the long rectangular image that goes along the top of your page. Add and edit artwork, which is the big one for today, because we want to make sure that you are putting a nice amount of artwork on there and that you're figuring out how to organize that. Add and edit events. So we know what the big event is in May, but you can add other events to your page, including if you're doing any pop-up exhibits and the like. Viewed shared space groups. So this includes things like the Sausalito Center for the Arts, and then update password. So this would be if you want to change your password from what it was, because if we're successfully logged in, then we know your password works. But if you want to change it, you can update it here, and then the log out button. So for now, just to start, I'm going to click on edit artist profile. And that takes you to your artist statement and your bio. We do ask that you, I mean, mine are, kind of long, but we do ask that you put a good amount of information into both of these. And so, typically the artist statement is I, me, my, and bio is she, her, hers, him, his. But you can write any way you want. Just put some words in there. Tell us what you're about. Tell us what inspires you, so that the keywords on the website help your page to show up better in Google search when people are looking for terminology that would appear in these areas. It's very important to search engine optimization, or SEO, is to have a good amount of text into these two categories. We also want you to please and thank you choose which medium you work in most. I believe you can pick more than one. Yes, you can. I primarily work in acrylic paint. I might play with other things, but I only do commissions in acrylic paint. So I'm just acrylic paint. And group studio details, I'm not doing any group studio appearances this round of MOS, so I'm not adding anything here. And then if you were to make any changes on anything, you would hit Save Changes here at the bottom. So if I did want to say that I also do photography, which I do, even though none of it's on my site right now, I can hit Save Changes and that'll be saved. So if anybody has any questions about artist statement or bio, again, pop any questions into the chat. Hi, Laura, just saw you pop in. And keep in mind that, again, it doesn't have to be too long, but just make sure both of those are filled out. So here we have some gray buttons that you can scan your mouse over, and these just take you to certain places faster. The first one has a little house on it, that's home. The next one is to view your profile, as in what it looks like to other people. This one has to do with social networks, profile avatar, which is again the little circle photo of you, profile cover, which is that cover photo along the top, that banner. And then again, here's another log out button. So this is kind of its own little abbreviated version of the menu that we have up here on the right for you to navigate the different parts of the artist portal. When we scroll down on this side, you can see the different sections that you can access from where we are. We're in the About the Artist section right now. The next portion is studio information, so I'm going to click that. Full disclosure, I am not showing this year. I will not be on the map. So you would see a building name here, a studio number, an address, and visiting instructions like park around the back if I were showing this year, but I'm not. And I think a lot of you guys know, but some of you might not. I'm actually based in San Mateo. So my listing says by appointment only, and I do primarily do commissions. So part of why I'm not showing this year is that I don't have a lot of work on hand. I get asked to paint things and I ship it away when it's done. So if you did have an in-person appearance planned for the weekends, make sure all of this information is correctly filled out. This is the information that would go in the tour guide. So it's very important for you to make sure that you have that correctly. If you did want to give any COVID precautions, like mask required or proof of vaccination required, your choice, especially if it's your home. Let's be honest, if you really want someone to wear a mask before they walk into your garage or your living room, go ahead and put that down. If you make any changes, hit save changes. If anybody has questions about studio information, again, pop those into the chat and we'll get to them shortly. Contact information. So contact information is kind of crucial, especially for me where I'm by appointment only. So you want to make sure that you've got your email available. So there's a difference between your account email and the contact email. They can be the same, just know that they're two different things. One of them is what you log in with, one of them is what is publicly visible to people when they visit your page. My phone number, and then artist website. So I have a page on a larger website that's dedicated to my art. And so instead of it being like Caron Modern Media /services/creatives, blah, 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 I just did what's considered a link shortener called bit.ly. But you can just, if any of you are just kcarlsonart.com, for instance, just put your website, your full website here. And it says they do want you to have HTTPS or HTTP, which is for security purposes. So it is a complete and authenticated address that you're putting in there. So if it is kcarlson.com, make sure it's got HTTP:2 and then either kcarlson.com or www. Again, if you make any changes or updates, hit save changes. Exhibitions and press. So again, I'm not doing any group stuff. I'm not a famous artist, so I haven't been published in anything. I also have not been awarded or had any recent press about my art. So for all of you more experienced artists who have accolades and awards and have shown up in, you know, Marin IJ or Marin Magazine or all of these other cool different ways to be featured in the media, go ahead and pop those in here. Maybe put the name of the article, definitely put the issue number or season, you know, March 2022, that kind of thing. And for awards and press, I mean, go crazy, do as much of this as you want, guys, fill it out. The more information that's on your bio, the better, as far as, again, not just the human experience, people wanting to learn about you, but also for search engine optimization, for the Google robots to have more to pull from. Education. I didn't go to art school. I'm self-taught. I went to a couple art classes in middle school, high school, and college, but did not get any sort of awards or degrees or anything of that sort. Again, if you went to, you know, an academy of art, or you enlisted in an art program, or you even took some really cool art classes that you're proud of, pop those in here, make use of this space, and be sure, again, as with all of the sections, hit save changes whenever you add anything here. Just to make a point, if you wanted to play with formatting, there is bold, italic, underline, centering, not centering left to right adjustment. So you can get a little more, you know, fancy if you want. So if you were to say like Academy of Art, College, and then you wanted to say like the year, the degree, all of that below it, you can select it and hit bold and, you know, kind of make that more pronounced, that kind of thing. So all of the sections that have written text can be formatted in this way. And when it comes to the right, left, or center adjusting, you know, as far as how the text is centered, that's just a matter of preference. It's up to you. All right. So this is pretty much it for the initial section of the menu that we hit up here where it said edit your artist profile. Artist profile. I'm not going to edit my profile image, but we'll go and look at it real quick as far as how to do it. So you can select a file from your computer, or you can drag and drop a file from your computer to this area. And so if you have a picture of yourself that's a little more updated, nice and sharp and colorful, you can go ahead and pop that in here. And it's pretty easy as far as it squaring it in that little circle. Updating your banner image. Again, I'm not going to change mine, but we're just going to go through the motion. So same thing, if you were to click select your file, it would open up your computer files and you can find it in your file system of your computer. Otherwise, if you have a picture on your desktop, you would drag it and drop it with your mouse to this little section. And below that, add and edit artwork. So we did have a few updates to the website since last year. This is just showing you what my bio and everything looks like for now. Contact information and everything else. We did make an effort to make it possible for you to rearrange your artwork. At this point, we're back to the former way of doing it, the way that we've always done it, which is, and I'm going to click on Manage Artwork. Whatever image you want to be shown in the tour guide has to be your most recent uploaded image. So we did make efforts to have it where you could click and drag or rearrange once things are already uploaded, but no matter what, it's the most recent piece of artwork that shows up at the top. And so if you were to hit add artwork, and similarly, you can browse files on your computer or drag and drop them from your computer. We do ask that you give it a title. You're required to, actually. If there's a little red star next to it, that means you got to do it. We also ask that you choose a category. You can see we have options for art for different rooms in your house: bedroom, entertainment room, kitchen, living room. You can choose medium for 2-dimensional, medium for 3-dimensional. Color themes, like if it's a black and white or monochromatic, or if it has other kind of tones or multicolor. You can do local imagery, like if you paint San Francisco or the Golden Gate Bridge quite frequently, or Tahoe. Price and size, so this can help people who are browsing the Marin Open Studios site looking for within a certain budget, or for a certain size in their house, for a certain limitation of wall size. And then style: abstract, botanical, contemporary, modern, realism. And subject: animals and pets, cityscapes, figure, floral. So the whole goal of filling out all of these things is that we now have a section on the website where people who are browsing artwork can choose one of these categories and then only look at art that's been selected to fit into that category.
Caron?
So, oh, go ahead,
I
Kay.
want to just interrupt you for a second. We're
Sure.
also inviting designers, interior designers, to look at our site. And this is the kind of thing that may appeal to them. We'll be inviting them to a special time also at the gallery. So we're adding that this year. Thanks, Caron.
Yeah, sure. So if anybody has any questions about the categories, pop those into the chat. We'll get to them in a second. But again, they're all pretty self-explanatory as far as the different ways that you would describe your art. And these have to do with these categories aren't for all of your art. It's just for this particular piece of art that you're uploading now, right? We're talking about uploading a new piece of art here. Description. You can put anything you want here. You can go long-winded and say, I was sitting on the side of the road in Inverness for 6 hours doing this on plein air, and it rained and then it snowed. It's like you can do whatever you'd like. Just make sure that you consider giving some idea of either the inspiration behind it or a little bit about your aesthetic so that people can feel like they're getting to know you through your art and through this piece. You could definitely just pop a piece of art up there, not put any categories on it, just put a title on it and call it a day. But if you really want to enrich the art browser's experience, give a little story, tell a little tale, give it some life. You don't have to put the price, but you can. And you don't have to put the location, but you can. And then once you do that, you can preview, it'll show you what it will look like. And then you confirm and hit publish to make it show up. When I hit my artwork section, you can see I only have 3 pieces up here. And if I click this one, so you can see I've got price. I don't have size on there. Contemporary for the entertainment room, figure, multicolor, art for the office, maybe 2D acrylic paint. Here I am telling you to tell a story. And what kind of story did I tell? Inspired by the fastest woman in the world, Sha'Carri. She didn't make it to the Olympics, but she really wanted to be there. And so this is something where you can see how, if you want to, there could be a nice story and a backdrop and a nice backstory, I should say, of what inspired the artwork here at the bottom. Otherwise, they keep scrolling and they're back to kind of the rest of the basic part of the website. So the more that you can capture them here, the more likely they are to inquire about your art. You can see that it tells them when you put it on the website. So this was last year, and it has the price over here on the right. If we go backwards in my browser, for this one, which I no longer have available, so I only have it available for print, I say contact for pricing because the original is no longer for sale. And I was maybe a little less descriptive even so. 6 by 6 inch. Didn't even say, Michelle Obama or inspired by the former First Lady, but I did say sold at auction. So if it is a piece that you've sold, go ahead and put that in the description so people don't get their hopes up. But this was like the most bid on piece when I did an auction in 2020. So that's part of why I included it on my site. As far as the rest of your profile, going back up to our menu in the upper right corner, add and edit events. You can see that it says no events, add event right next to no events. So you can click there. And then no events are scheduled at this time. And so you can add a new event. And then kind of self-explanatory, right? You can say it's maybe a gallery opening, pop-up exhibit, something you're doing in your driveway, who knows? Event dates, event times, location, address. And it should have a preview of a location when you enter an accurate address here. And then details. So describing what the event's about. Are you the only artist there? Category of events. So this is helpful for people if you want to say artist workshop, like if you're hosting a workshop on how to make art, or a studio event, or maybe events on weekend 1 or weekend 2 of MOS. So it's like event within an event. And then if you had a picture, maybe a picture of the front of the gallery or the front of the studio or the entryway, that might be nice. And then submit event. And we do ask that you consent to our privacy policy when you're entering in that new information into the site. I don't have any events planned at the moment, so I won't be entering anything in. We go back up to our menu in the upper right corner. We know I'm not in a shared space this year, so I'm not going to click that. And I'm also not going to change my password. So for now, I think we've done a rough coverage of the website as far as your artist portal. Going along the menu items here, when I click about, again, this takes you to the basic page. On the right side, or I should say, at the top, you can see these are the two images. So we've got, this is your avatar or your profile image, the circular one. This is your cover photo or your banner from left to right. And then you can see how that cover photo also appears here. And then video, because we all know I love a video. On the right side, you do have an option to add a link to a YouTube video. So if you have a video that lives on YouTube already exists, you can use a little video section in the sidebar here to the right of where your bio and your art are. And you can see there's a little pencil here. And if you click that, that allows you to change or edit what that video is. So you would copy and paste the YouTube link, put it here, and then I put a little description, dog portrait time lapses, little description there. So if we go back to my profile and we go back to about, if I were to click that, the video would play. Takes a second. I know my internet's been a little, all right. So you can put any length of video you want. It's playing with audio. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. So just keep in mind that video, of course, is a very engaging way of showing your art or your art process or your studio or your space or how to get to your studio. So if anybody has questions on putting a video on YouTube, we did do a workshop about that exact topic, and it's on our YouTube channel. All the workshops that I hosted for Marin Open Studios in the last however many years are all in a playlist on the Marin Open Studios YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and you type in Marin Open Studios, you'll see our channel and you'll see a workshop we did specifically about how to put a video on YouTube about your art. And then membership. So this was again the kind of the group memberships options, or no, this is your membership, like the fact that I've early registered so that I am currently member of Marin Open Studios. We know I don't have any events, and then artwork. So these are the different ways that you can kind of navigate, and you'll see that the video and the other such items are here on the right. At the very bottom, we have where we can click over to my Instagram. And I have a specific Instagram just for my art, just so everybody knows. So if you do have social media, feel free to use that part of the website as well. To recap on how we access that, we go to our menu, we hit Edit Artist Profile. And then on the left side, it says Home. These little gray buttons say Home, Profile, Social Networks. We click on the little gray button that says Social Networks, and you can enter in your Facebook, your Instagram, or Pinterest. And so my Facebook page is not an artist page. It's more about my video services. But like I said, I have a separate Instagram just for my art. So for those of you that all of your presences have to do with art, go ahead and put Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest if you have those here, and those will show up on the right side of your profile when you view it. And then if we click on profile cover here, again, just like with avatar, just like anything else, you can change that anytime. And if we go back to my profile, here we are. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the share for a moment so that we can cover questions, because it looks like we have a few. Manoush, and you might answer this for me, Kay. Manoush, and pardon me if I mispronounce any of your names. Manoush says, will we be given signs, like street signs? If so, when? Can unmute. Oh, hold on, Kay. Let me make sure that you're unmuted.
Got it.
You got it. Okay.
That's a great question, Manoush. So when you deliver your artwork to Town Center Gallery on the 13th of April, we will have tour guides for you. We will have signage for you. And that's when you receive, and you'll have the ability to have a small sign and also a larger one. And you can have as many signs as you need for your particular location. So larger ones for outside on the street. And that's for everybody. Good. Does that
Excellent.
answer your question?
Is Manoush here? Okay, good, Manoush. Okay, cool.
Yes, thank you very much.
Excellent.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. And then Susan said on the website, can you review how to add an image to an event? What is the size of file and size of the image pixels would be great. I've been having issues with getting images uploaded recently. Okay, Susan. Sure. Let's play with events. Add event. Add new event. And she was asking about images. Choose a file. What kinds of image? Okay, so this is funny. I've got some of your guys' art. Not exactly everybody in this room, but I've got a few people's art in my computer right now. So we're just going to pretend like one of you is having an event and putting your art in here. So to answer your question, Susan, we don't have our website guru on the call tonight, Wendy. She would be able to tell us what the exact ideal pixels would be. But in theory, you just choose a file, upload it here, and then we'd be good to go.
So I just tried to upload and it says the image file is too big, maximum size 5,000.
So 5,000.
Don't know.
5,000. No. But maximum size is probably like 5,000 pixels across.
Yeah, so I've tried doing this a lot over the past couple of weeks because I have an art exhibition right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I emailed Linda the issue and I haven't heard back.
Okay, let me see here. We're just playing around. Kay's house. I'm having an event at your house, Kay.
All right.
Sausalito. Everybody's invited. United States. Kay's house.
5,000 pixels wide is a pretty big file, so you wouldn't need it that big for working on the.
Aha! Here do we see it though. Thank you for chiming in. Whoever's chiming in right now. The
Yeah,
file image. Go ahead.
Yeah, probably 1550 is big enough.
File image. The image file is too big. Maximum size 5,000. This is fascinating, Kay. We have something to ask Wendy about.
Yes.
Because
so,
we at least need to know inches or pixels.
Yeah.
for
So
people.
we should be sending this info. Anything we can't solve tonight, we will
Sure.
send out in an email.
Yes, we will.
And
Who mentioned the 1,500?
Who was just on our audio, guys? Who was just helping us out just now? Chime back in.
It was Nita, somebody named
Nita
Nita.
Winter, and
Oh,
I'm
hi, Nita. Thank you.
usually on our website, the biggest we go is 1550.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to go to 5,000 if you're just doing something on the web and not printing it.
Exactly.
So,
And I
5
also do think that there's a limit. There's a pixel number that's given somewhere on this website, on the website, that says do not exceed, and it's definitely smaller than 5,000.
I thought I read somewhere,
A mistake there.
I thought I read somewhere that it's 1,000 wide is the max. 1,000 pixels.
Well, we'll get it right from the person who knows.
We'll figure it out, you guys. We're
Yes.
gonna figure this out for you because I just tried to upload 2 different file sizes. One that was, and here we are about actual sizes, one that's like 1.2 megabytes and one that's 406 kilobytes. We're talking completely different file sizes here. And when we try, yeah. So Susan, it's not you. And we're so sorry that you've been hitting this little red banner over here because apparently we have something we need to reconcile on the website to make this correct. So go ahead.
The DPI is important. Usually they say that anything over 72 is too high for the internet.
Sure. And I agree with you that, you know, DPI or pixels per inch is definitely an important consideration. We just need some sort of guidance as to what 5,000 is supposed to mean. So Kay and I will follow up, like I said, with our web guru, and we will get back to you guys about that. We will do a follow-up email on this topic. And thank you, Susan, for asking that question.
And just so that everyone knows, Linda has herself really wrapped around registration right now and doing all this information, getting it over to the tour guides. So if she doesn't get back to you in a timely way right now, that's why. Normally she will.
She's usually a timely lady. She's got a lot going on right now. We're putting
She
a lot on her
really
plate.
does.
Putting too much on her plate. Poor Linda.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Can I
Deborah. Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Nita, again, since you're passing things on to your web person, one of the things I noticed was when you if you cut and paste text into the caption of the photo, it doesn't always match. So you could end up with different fonts, and there's no way of changing it unless you take it back out of the computer, off the website, put it somewhere else, put it all in the same font. So you don't have a standardized font in the image descriptions.
Interesting. So
I can speak to that a little bit. I know that for the statement in the bio, it's true that you absolutely have to start out with all the same font. You can't cut and paste. It'll appear all different pieces. So I suspect this is the same way. So you would have to have it all composed before you put it in.
what she's saying is if you're copying and pasting different fonts from different places into the one, that they will not autocorrect to a streamlined font. So thank you for that feedback, Nita, and we will also submit that for review. Moving on, Deborah says, I would like to put my art in a grouping of different series. How do I do that? So Deborah, at this point, there's no way to put your art into groupings on the website. It's just showing up chronologically based on how you've uploaded them. So at some point, as we continue to improve the website, that might be something that we would aspire to do, is having groupings. But for now, it's just the only organization you get is in the order that it was uploaded. Okay, so
I asked the question, this is Deborah Harnett.
hi, Deborah.
Hi. So when you add art, we can't create collections. So it only goes in as you randomly put it in. And is the first picture on the left or the right? Does that matter? Does it continually go in the order that it? I'm trying to figure out how
when you upload the images, the last image you upload, the very last one, or I should say the most recent upload, will be in the upper left-hand corner, correct, Kay?
Yes.
So, and then it goes like that, goes from left to right and then down left to right.
Artwork, and you're trying to think it through so you put it in appropriately so it ends up in collections, because that's how my artwork is. Does the first piece go in on the left or the right, and then the next piece go on top of it? Is that how it is in the left?
So when, let's just say that you upload a file and it's called number 1, and then you upload another file right after that and it's called number 2, it will appear on the website as 2 being in the upper left corner and 1 being in the right corner.
Okay.
And then it snakes down from there. So if you did then uploaded 3 and then 4, it would be 4 would be upper left corner, 3 would be upper right corner, 2 would be left second row, 1 would be right second row, and it snakes down in that direction.
So it isn't read from right to left, it's from left to right.
Correct, from left to right.
Okay. And then, so what happens when is, right now I have the one piece in so that I have the right piece for the brochure. When can you actually, when is you get past that so you can put the other pieces in without having to re-put in the first one again?
Kay, when are they done sampling the site? For the tour guide? Oh, Kay, you were unmuted, or you are.
Sorry, I
you were
muted
good.
myself.
Yep.
I want to speak to Laura about this. I think we should probably send an email and let people know when that is, because we're fiddling around right now with Excel sheets yet. So is that it? What do you think?
Yeah, we'll send out an email to tell you guys when
Yeah.
we're done taking the art out. So for
Yeah.
now, please keep that one in the holding position. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes, no, thank you. All right, so
Ask a follow-up question to,
so Nita, I'm so sorry, but I do want to get through everybody else's questions first. If we can get to your follow-up question.
and it's a critical one.
Okay, I feel like everybody's questions are important, but go ahead, Nita.
Okay, you said to send the correct image or information for the guide to info@Marin Open Studios. Are you saying to send the image and the description?
No. You fill that in on your page.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to order it, so I haven't been able to put the right image in the right place.
It's the most recent one, Nita. So whatever you, well, that's what we're saying right now, today, go on the
Okay,
page,
reload
put in one right now that is the one you want in the tour guide, and then leave it until we email you and tell you that we've got it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Please and thank you.
Great.
Crucial questions. All right, next.
Yes. Thanks, Nita.
So Catherine Anderson says, best way to use social media to advertise MOS. Catherine, that's an excellent question. And I'm just going to tell you, hey guys, we're hosting another workshop with the correct link this time on Wednesday, March 15th. So mark your calendars. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. March 15th at 5 p.m. workshop. I'm going to be hosting it here on Zoom. We will be sending out an email with the correct link. It will be about how to market your art on social media in advance of the May event, so that some of you aren't waiting until the week before to put out your Facebook, your Instagram, and your other such promotional information. And just now actually is the perfect time for me to interject and say, we are creating our ads, our social media advertising for Marin Open Studios at this moment. So for anyone who would like to have their artwork featured in a video ad about Marin Open Studios, because I will be creating that in the next week or so, that we'll be launching on Facebook and Instagram. I just put my email address in the chat, caron@caronmodernmedia.com. You can email me a picture of you with your art or a picture of your studio. We're talking one picture. And if you submit that to me within a week from today, so by Thursday of next week, then we will include that into like a little photo video montage ad that we're doing. This was a decision made by me and a couple of the other board members who are in charge of the advertising creative that we're using for social media. And we wanted you guys all to have an opportunity to be included in that. So again, in the chat right now, two things. March 15th at 5 p.m., we're having a workshop on social media marketing for MOS. And if you would like a picture of you with your art or a picture of your studio to be included in a video ad, meaning like photos shooting by in a little slideshow type arrangement, email me, caron@caronmodernmedia.com, email is in the chat, a picture of you with your art or a picture of your studio by next Thursday, by Thursday of next week. And it's not going to be a video just of your art. It's going to be a video of a lot of artists. We've got over 250 artists this year. So we just want to be diplomatic and make sure that anybody who would like to be featured in our marketing can be. I'm not going to give you exact pixels and resolutions because I'm making the video, so I can make it bigger or smaller for the frame of the video, but I do like high resolution images. We don't want it to look pixelated, so feel free to do something sharp. It can be a smartphone photo, it can be a professional photo, and it can be, again, picture of you and your art, or it can be a picture of your studio, but one picture. Send me one picture.
Please
Cool.
tell us your email again.
It's in the chat. It's typed out in the chat. If you go in, open the Zoom chat and you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the date for the workshop, which we will email you guys about and have the link and everything else. That's about
Okay.
social media marketing. And then the email below that is mine, caron@caronmodernmedia.com. That's where you
Thank
send.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. So buttons, where are we? And
Caron?
Yes.
I'd also like to give anyone else who's new to MOS a chance to say, I don't really understand where we get, what happens for something or other. Because I know we have about 40 new artists this year. So, and does anyone have any really fast, like, I don't know what to do, shoot it at me.
I mean, we do have a lot of questions in the chat right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
And
so
you keep going. You keep
got
going.
got at least a dozen more. So I just want to
Great.
make sure that we're catching up with those.
Good. Yeah. Put
So,
them in the chat. Put them in the chat.
Yes.
Good.
So we talked about sequencing images because I just saw your question, Melissa Woodburn. So yes, we will email you guys when we are done taking your art for the guide, so you can upload your art after that. We will notify you by email when that has happened. Anita, you already come back through about sequencing. Margaret, what is meant by group studio details? I've never done any open studios before. So Kay, can you explain what the group studio details are?
Sure. A lot of artists don't have studios, so we partner with art centers to put them there. So Artworks Downtown is a group studio. Marin Society of Artists is a group studio. MoCA used to be a group studio, is not this year. Marin, the Sausalito News Center for the Arts is a group studio. Does that answer your question? I hope. Yeah, yeah.
Margaret,
Yes,
if you want to.
yes, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
good.
very much.
Thanks,
Great.
Margaret. Amy Cruz says, I'm on the second floor with no elevator. Do you recommend mentioning that in visiting instructions? Yes, Amy. Please do say in your visiting instructions if you have any sort of either limitations or special directions for people to find you. That's muy importante. You're welcome. Nita also asked, what if you are in a group location, but you want to let people know where you are located at other times? So Nita, great question. You saw when we were answering Susan's question about putting a photo into an event. You can do an event during MOS. So your MOS, your artist profile has a location, and that's like the location that you're at for the 2 weekends. But you can also do a separate event on its own, right? We just went through it a couple times, event, new event, add new event. And then in the section where it says what type of event, you can say weekend 1 or weekend 2. So if you're going to be in other places during the 2 weekends besides your primary location, create a new event on your page and put that down as the type of event that it is, that it's not artist studio or it's not a gallery. It's you put it down as weekend 1 or weekend 2 with all of the information.
Okay, I think you misunderstood my question. And I've looked at people who are also at the Marin Art and Garden Center, and some people are saying their location is their studio, but they're also listed as Marin Art and Garden Center, and others are saying Marin Art and Garden Center is where their studio is. So I think people have gotten a little confused there.
Yeah, the main concern is that people have their primary place where they're going to be showing art in the 2 weekends as the location on their artist profile. That might not be their regular studio the other 361 days of the year, but for the purposes of getting your location on the map, the artist map that's on the website, you want that location section of your bio to be filled out with where you're going to be showing both weekends. All right. Oh, go ahead, Nita. Did you have a follow-up question?
No, I think thank you. That clarified.
Sure. Cool. Okay. Janet says, can you change the format size to a square? So Janet, I assume you're talking about artwork. And
yes, the actual artwork, because my work is square. So when I put it into the site, it obviously changes the proportions.
yeah, it doesn't change proportions, but it shows you a rectangular preview.
Yes.
Of your artwork. Yeah, at this point, unfortunately, the way that the website is formatted, the previews are rectangular.
Okay.
So I would say if you wanted to work around that limitation, Janet, because the website is white, and I'll show you guys what I mean, is that you could create an image where you have your square in the center, and then you have white on the left and the right, if that makes sense. So if it's like, I want to say this is like a 16:9 ratio, or like, classic rectangle, widescreen rectangle. So if you were to go onto Canva or Photoshop or any of these photo editing, image editing programs, you take a white rectangular canvas and you just put your square art in the middle of it. That would show up as a square here, and the white would just bleed into the rest of the white to the left and the right. That would be Caron's workaround of the day.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome. Stephanie says, just note with categories, there's a limit. Oh yes, limit of 10. Thank you, Stephanie. In description, where should you put the medium and size of the piece? So it's up to you, Stephanie, where you put the medium and size of the piece in your artwork. If we go back to,
It's fine. I think we've already answered it. I'm good.
it's kind of like a preference thing,
I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being a Marin Open Studios artist. So for mine, I just, like I said, I don't have much of a description, so mine pop out right away. But I would say at the top, maybe, and then have the written stuff below it so that it's clean. And you can put size and other things in the categories as well. So it's kind of redundant, but you can do it in both places. How to rearrange artwork, Manoush, I'm so sorry. Yes, we are still hoping to make that possible where you can have things up there and not have to upload in a certain order. And we are working on making that happen for you. But at this point, you just have to go chronologically for any sort of rearrangement.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nita says more than one video posting. How about adding LinkedIn? So Nita, we only have at the moment Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest as the links. You definitely could put a link to your LinkedIn in your bio or in your artist, part of your description, but it's not going to be the same as that little clickable social media section that's on the right-hand side. At current, I dare say the majority of artists that I work with aren't on LinkedIn. So Kay and I could make that suggestion to Wendy to add other social media platforms. But I would, if I took a poll of everybody in the Zoom tonight, I would say most of them, if they're on social media, are on Facebook or Instagram and not as heavy on LinkedIn as a platform. So that might be why that's not up there. As far as more than one video posting, Nita, it's just the one. However, like we talked about for our page, we do have like our playlist of workshops. So you definitely can have like a playlist of art videos that you can be showing on your own, website presence or whatnot when people search you up on Google. We do offer to put artist videos into a separate artist video playlist on our YouTube. We just haven't put that call out for you guys to send us those YouTube links since last year. So we will probably be reinstating that, but we're going to have the social media workshop first on March 15th, where we can kind of remind everybody on how to do that. Chelsea, I'm totally mispronouncing your name. Cheslin?
Yes, Cheslin, that's right.
Cheslin, some of my contact information is not visible to the public, including my phone number and website.
Oh, no, don't worry about that, actually.
Okay, good.
Just
Big check
Kay
one.
and I
Got
are
it.
talking
Oh,
about
good.
it.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
handling that. Judith says how to create a banner. So Judith, are you asking like how to make a banner or how to update the banner on the website?
Well, on my site, I have a gray background with my profile picture, my name, and actually under my name, I have the 750 Bridgeway, where I'm going to be showing at the Center for the Arts. So I see other profiles and there's like all these images behind them. So mine is gray. Should I keep it that way, or how do you put up other images, or should I not even worry about it?
Sure. Can you see my screen? Screen sharing.
Yes.
Excellent. So when we go to the menu in the upper right corner, you can see how mine have images. I assume this is what you're talking about. This right here.
Right.
So upper right corner, you hover your mouse over that little menu and you'll see the third one down is update banner image.
Oh.
And when you click that,
okay.
You can
wait,
select.
no, I don't see it. Wait.
Oh, so one more time. Up here on the right, third one down. So it says edit artist profile, update profile image. The third one says update banner image.
Okay.
And you can see on the screen in the center, it says
Oh, I
profile
see.
cover, change cover image. So it's two different words for the same thing. The wide rectangular thing that goes behind your photo on your profile is either called a banner image or a cover image.
Okay.
And you would drag and drop an image here, or you can select a file from your computer,
Uh-huh.
and then that would appear behind you on your profile.
Okay. So there's a place where it would say browse and I could pick something from my folder and.
Do you see
put
right here where it
there.
says, do you see right here where it says drop your file here or
Yes.
select your
yes,
file? I know you're on your
yes.
phone, Judith, so I know it's probably hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I had
think
to
maybe if
open
you
it
hold
up.
your phone horizontally, it might work better. But yeah, it's a
could
gray
see.
button that
See
says
it, I
select
see.
your file. And when you click it, it'll open up your computer file system.
Right.
And you can choose any image that you'd like to make your cover photo. It is a wide rectangle. So it's best, you'll see some people will make like a little collage first of a bunch of images from left to right and do it that way. But
So you would keep clicking on different images and they would go in a series and appear there?
that
So
would
it'd
not,
be
that,
multiple clicks to
so that
make a
that would not,
montage?
that would not be the case, Judith. So the case would be that you either would put a rectangular image there,
One image.
one image, or you would create your own collage separately and then upload it. So
I
I'm just,
got it.
you know,
I
so
got it.
I'm not going to replace my own here, but
Uh-huh.
just real quick, because I know we're past the hour and I appreciate everybody who stayed with us longer than the hour as we venture into our Q&A section. If you go to canva.com and you open a free account, you can say, for instance, like Facebook cover, and that's a wide rectangle. And you click on the blank one and you can just pull in a bunch of pieces of art. These are artists in Open Studios. So if you're like, that's my art. Yes, I know it's your art. So if you were to just take a few images of yours on Canva, resize them top and bottom, drag them left and right, Make them make some little slices. Maybe you might not be able to show the whole shebang, and it allows you to edit. Miles Davis.
And you started from Facebook?
So you go to canva.com.
Canva, never heard of
Canva,
this.
C-A-N-V-A.
Uh-huh.
You open a free account.
Oh.
And then if you search in their website, it has a search bar right in the center. And if you type in Facebook cover, you'll see that the ratio is 1,640 pixels by 924. It's just a severe rectangle. Canva.com, free account. You just enter in that search term of Facebook cover to get a dramatic rectangle to come up, because you can do a cover photo on a Facebook profile. This is just an example. And then you start with a blank canvas, upload some files of your art, and you can lay them next to each other, make a little profile bio like that.
Super.
Yes, this is why we want to do some workshops for you guys before May, because we want to make sure that you guys know how to do fancy fun stuff like this and market yourselves online and on social media in as the best way possible. So back to our questions, Q&A, almost done. Thank you for your patience, so everybody. Of course, we're almost there. So chat.
Caron, I answered some questions in chat.
Thank you.
The opening is April 29th between 5 and 8 was one question that a few people had. Let's see, what was the other one?
So yes, dropping off artwork in April.
April
before
13th is
the
drop
gallery.
off.
Yep.
April 13th is drop off artwork.
All right. Fabienne asked if we mentioned MOS in our stories, and I assume you mean Instagram stories. Will MOS share our stories? Fabienne, yes. For the most part, yes. I am the social media manager for MOS. I will fully confess, I do not log on to there every day. Where's Susan? Is Susan still here? Susan's still here. Susan is our like gold star tag Marin Open Studios in every single story she's ever done. So sometimes if I haven't logged in a couple days, I'll see I've missed 2 of Susan's stories. And Susan, I'm sorry for every time I miss one of your stories. So if you post a story and you tag us and we don't share it, just slap Caron on the wrist because I didn't log into Instagram that day. But as a practice, yes, anytime you tag ampersand Marin Open Studios on Instagram and your stories, no spaces, we get a notification of it. We share it to our stories as well. And then that usually pops over to Facebook stories as a result. We'll talk more
Gotcha.
about stories and Instagram at our March 15th training session.
Awesome.
Deepa says, I'm teaching a class at the College of Marin. Is that okay to list as an event or will it be advertising incorrectly? Sure, Deepa, any events you want, go ahead, put it on there. Manoush, you said, what is post for? Manoush, what were you asking there?
Yes, thank you. There is on the page a button that says post. Is that for us to post something, like an article of some kind, or what is that feature for?
And you're talking about on the website, you saw a button that
Yes,
says
on
post?
the artist page, yes.
Okay, good question. I like questions. Let me see here. I'll put it on our share screen. Okay, so we're on my artist page.
Okay, so where is this?
Maybe it's on the back end,
Ah,
right? Maybe it was when I was on edit artist profile. Perhaps it was here.
forgot where it was. There is a possibility to do a post, but I don't know what kind of post we can do there.
I don't,
Well, I guess I
post,
would.
haha, we found it. Okay,
Aha,
so
found
haha.
it.
So on the left side of, we're like uncovering things together tonight. On the left side of your artist profile, below the red menu that we just explored, there's account settings, email, password, notifications. Below that is widget settings, which is where we can do a quote, a video, Instagram, and that just means your social media, and a post. So if you do a post from this menu, it will be like any sort of type of content that you want to do, but it looks like it's not enabled at the moment, right, Kay?
Okay.
It doesn't look like that.
Yeah. It looks like we want you to be able to post, but we're not going to let you.
That's right.
So that would explain why I didn't cover that in our training just now. So with the other stuff in there though, studio and activity photos, this is just another place to put photos, right? So these aren't listed in my artwork, but it's that sidebar area. Slideshow, similarly, these are little things that play on that sidebar. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Quote, it could be a quote by you or by someone else, right? The quote itself, the person and an image. Video, this is where you would put your YouTube, which we saw earlier. Yeah, post we'll say is not happening. And it says Instagram coming soon, but this is, yeah, again, it's one of those things where we're saying we would like you to be able to specifically put your Instagram here, but instead we would have you change that in a social activity. So if we go here and you view your profile and we go here on the right, so this is the slideshow thing we saw. So it's like, it's flips and flops. You can add little images to show there. So this is not the same as your artwork section of your artist profile. This is the video, and it is one video that you can add. Those are the studio activity photos. So again, like I don't have a studio, like not a dedicated studio, but you could put pictures of your studio here or pictures of people in your studio here. I just put pictures of my art. This is a link to where people can order commissions from me. So you can change, you can have another clickable link. So this is for the person asking about LinkedIn. So if you want to, you can put a link here and say visit me on LinkedIn. Haha, we found a workaround. So if you had either another social media platform that we don't have listed or another website you would like to send someone to, let's say you sell your prints on a third-party website, you can put this here, describe what it is, have an image for it, and then on your profile, it'll show up here in a little link section. And then the keep in touch was that social section that we edited before. So again, I only have my Instagram in there. And the way that we access that is when we go to edit artist profile and we go to the gray buttons, there's one with arrows that says social networks. And as a reminder, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. So again, for people who want to do other than those social networks, you would go to the widget settings and go to link, and you can do your LinkedIn or Twitter or TikTok or any other platform that you want to do. You can put that into the link section here since we don't have those fields in social media. Fabian says LinkedIn interior designers are on LinkedIn, so I think it would be a great idea if it could be added. Thank you for that feedback, Fabian. Kay and I will recommend that to our website guru. People have to leave. People have to leave. Glad it's been helpful. Deepa, quick Canva tutorial. So happy. Yeah, we'll touch on Canva in the workshop in March for sure, because it's helpful for formatting things correctly for different social media platforms. Beulah never got the sound. So yeah, we'll have the recording of this video, you guys. If anybody feels like they missed anything or you came in late, we will have the full recording of today's session available and be emailing that out to you in the coming days. Wendy says, thank you, you're welcome. Manush says, thank you, you're welcome. Chelsea, okay, so anybody else? I think I saw someone raise a hand earlier, and then I feel like now in retrospect, I ignored said hand, and we're 22 minutes over time. So I appreciate everybody who's been in the long haul with us. Does anybody have any other questions today about what we covered for website or about MOS? You're welcome, Judith. Any other questions? Catherine, are you just twinkling your fingers? No, she's just saying thank you. Bye. Go ahead, Michael, unmute yourself.
I just want to say thank you. And I'm the one that had my hand up before, but somebody answered the question. So I'm hoping I can figure this whole thing out. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we didn't want to overwhelm you guys too much.
But it's a really good information. It's about time I caught up with all. Bye-bye.
Good.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your
Habib,
support.
did you have a question? Habib?
He's going to unmute.
Yes. Hi. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi. I have the question regarding the 13th of April. Where do we go? Is the same gallery that last year in Cordo Madera?
Yes. Town Center.
It'll be in your emails that come to you with directions from MOS. So be sure you all of you watch your emails from now through April.
Okay, yes, I will.
Good. Good.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful session that you guys did.
Thanks for coming, Habib. Deepa, to answer your question, yes, watch your emails and we will be giving out more info about the drop-off on April 13th. And she asked, does one need to be selected? Deepa, you mean one piece of art?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking, Deepa?
Yes, and those directions will also be in your emails. There'll be a size limitation for the one piece that you bring into our gallery, because we'll have 250 artworks in the gallery, so we have to have some limit on sizes.
Yeah, so Deepa, if that's your question, because she's not coming back on to talk to us, but yes.
Can I just interrupt for a moment? Kay, wasn't the intake day put on a Saturday this year?
I think it's the 13th. Sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm wrong. It's on the 15th. So
Correct.
Sorry.
It's
I
on
was
the
looking at
15th.
last year's calendar.
Yeah, it's on the 15th. And then someone asked about what day is the gala, and that is.
Oh my God. It's the 29th.
29th, yeah, the 29th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, people who left early got a slightly different date. That's fine. Check your emails for the most up-to-date information. Check your emails for a recording of today's session. And check your emails for updates on some of the website suggestions that were made in case we make any adjustments once we've reported to Wendy. If we don't have any other questions, because we are sufficiently over time, I wanted to thank everybody who came, thank everybody who stayed, thank everybody who asked questions, and everybody for being patient with the link issue earlier tonight. And please mark your calendars. You're welcome, Susan. Please mark your calendars for March 15th for our next workshop. We'll be sending you details, but it'll be about social media, Canva, anything else you need to know. And April 15th is when you'll be marking your calendars to drop off your art at the gallery, and April 29th is the gala. But again, all details will come in email form to you in good time. So anything else, Kay, before we sign off?
Thank you very much, Caron. Very good.
I'm happy to oblige. All right, guys, have a great night. Cheers. Be well. Stay warm.
Thank
Ciao.
you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Thank you.